Yo, what's up guys, AFC Adino here and welcome to a new video. We are on Pokemon Brick Bronze today. This is actually going to be my first Pokemon Brick Bronze forever PvP battle. Guys, I recently finished the team and I wanted to get into a PvP game as soon as possible. Aaron MCB is going to be my first Pokemon ever in Pokemon Brick Bronze forever. And as you guys can see, it's going to be Hyper Offense on my side versus a balanced, really bulky team of our opponent. And yeah, if you guys are interested in this team, you can check it out. There's a link in the description with a Pokepaste. It's a really easy to build team as well because it doesn't include any hidden abilities. So for beginners, this might be a pretty interesting team. And the Mega on my team is going to be Mega Lopunny. I was playing this on my phone, so the dragging didn't go well, and I ended up dragging them all and even dragged the Volcarona incorrectly. But I was able to drag them all just in time and click a ready button. But yeah, we lead off with Skarmory into a Lopunny. And this is perfect for us because Lopunny cannot knock us out with Fake Out into a high jump kick, for example. So we can at least get off one Stealth Rock or Spikes before he kills us. And if he does fake us, especially if he fakes us out, and if he clicks high jump kick, he will probably be able to do it KO us because we are not bulky on this Skarmory. But yeah, he decided to fake me out, which doesn't do much. And he should also be afraid because I can essentially knock out his Mega with Brave Bird. We are max attack on this one. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Spikes here because I want to stack up those Spikes. Normally I would go for Rocks first, but because he's running a really bulky team with Toxapex, Ferrothorn, Blissey, I want to have those Spikes down because you can stack those Spikes. And stacking those Spikes means they're gonna take extra damage. Stealth Rock is not something you can stack. So I at least want 2 layers of Spikes. And it was perfect that he went into Landorus. He was probably scouting for the Brave Bird. Because Landorus doesn't kill me, so it basically allows me to get an extra layer of Spikes. But because I was faster, our opponent gets a free U-turn into Volcarona. Volcarona is on boots. I decided to stay in here, and he luckily misses the Heat Wave. Surprised that he didn't have Flamethrower or Fiery Dance. But yeah, I was able to get off with Brave Bird, and here I decided to keep my Skarmory. Just because Skarmory can still get off Stealth Rock or Spikes versus a Toxapex, Ferrothorn or Blissey, for example. And then decided to bring in my Dragapult. In hindsight, it was probably better to go with the Garchomp instead. Because as you guys can see, Dragapult is the only thing on my team that's faster than his Lopunny. So if I lose this, I'm gonna lose a lot of speed control. But yeah, he takes me down to half HP, and I decided to go for Dragon Darts as he goes into Blissey. And this is why those Spikes are really important. Look at how much damage I'm doing to him. Unfortunately, with the leftovers, it's not gonna be enough. So I decided to U-turn out there to do extra chip and then go directly into my Skarmory because this is what we saved him for. If he attacks into us, Blissey is gonna stay low. We can maybe taunt him to keep him low. And if he clicks Soft Boil, I'm getting at least a Stealth Rock here. And I'm going for Rocks here because it does more damage than stacking up 3 layers of Spikes. And if he doesn't have Flamethrower, I'm able to get off an extra layer as he proceeds to click Seismic Toast on me. So we're getting our last layer. There's no point in clicking Taunt on this. There's no point in Brave Birding this because I have a bunch of Pokemon I can easily kill this Blissey, like Bisharp, Lopunny, even my Garchomp. So going for the max hazards, and now I'm getting a free switch. My Skarmory does die for it, but it is meant to be a suicide lead. And I decided to bring in my Bisharp here, because here's the thing. What are his most likely answers to my Bisharp, right? Maybe Landorus, maybe Ferrothorn, maybe Toxapex. In this situation, I can easily Swords Dance. It is really risky for him to switch in Lopunny, for example, because if I attack into the Lopunny, it could essentially die. So I'm using this opportunity to go for Swords Dance. I would also not die to Flamethrower. And because he went into the Ferrothorn, look at what my Spikes and Stealth Rock did to him. He's essentially just dies to knock off now, even if he's max defense. So Ferrothorn out of the picture, out of commission, and Bisharp still being at +2. And remember, Volcarona is really low. I can Sucker Punch Volcarona potentially, but I am still afraid of Volcarona because he could PP stall all my Sucker Punches. However, my opponent decided to go directly into the Landorus. He does intimidate me, which drops my attack down to 1, but because of the Define ability, it goes to +2. So I basically I got a +1 boost. So Bisharp is at +3, and I decided to Sucker Punch here. I know my Skarmory was faster than him, but my Bisharp is slower than my Skarmory. So Landorus could potentially have been faster than my Bisharp. So I didn't want to take any risks there. And now Volcarona does come in, and like I said, I could Sucker Punch it, but if he Quiver Dance and tries to outplay all my Sucker Punches, I could lose. So I decided to bring in my Dragapult. I kind of regretted the decision afterwards, because he does indeed Quiver Dance into me. And now Dragapult will die to the Heat Wave. And I have to attack her just in case he has a Roost. Which sucks for me, because with Dragapult dying, if he connects the Heat Wave, my whole team is going to be slower than his Lopunny, or I have to speed tie with my Lopunny. I don't know how to pronounce. Maybe you pronounce it as Lopunny. But yeah, since his Volcarona is at +1, I have to bring in my Lopunny to click Fake Out, because it's the only thing that outspeeds Volcarona with priority. The downside is that I am risking a contact move here, meaning that his Flame Body ability could activate on me, making my Lopunny more useless into his team, because he still has a Toxapex. That's also the reason why I didn't want to switch in Garchomp, because Garchomp is something that can reliably kill Toxapex, especially with Landorus gone. Yeah, unfortunately, I do get burned here. Perhaps I should have just knocked off with my Bisharp, because if he kills me, I bring in a Dragapult and just click Dragon Darts from there. I think we should have stayed in with Bisharp and just click Knock Off. But yeah, now his Lopunny comes in, and here I attempted to switch in my Volcarona. It's a pretty bulky Volcarona to get the Flame Body proc on him. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, and here, this is a bit of a miscalculation, I guess. I didn't calculate though, because I was playing on my phone, but I thought that if I Roost, I should be able to live 2 returns, and I was fishing for a Flame Body proc, but I didn't get it. Now he can knock me out with return. I guess I should have just Flamethrowered initially, because if I Flamethrowered, I might have been able to play around with my Fake Outs from my Lopunny, but he actually decides to switch into his Toxapex instead of knocking me out. Maybe he didn't want to get burned from Flame Body, but in this situation, I did make a risky player by switching directly into my Garchomp. But on the other hand, I figured, even if I get burned, the Spikes and Stealth Rocks will still do a lot of damage to Toxapex if he switches out. I know he has Regenerator, but that damage gets added to something like a Knockoff, for example. And Lopunny can still click a Power Up Punch into a return, which might hurt the Toxapex. And Earthquake is still going to hurt regardless. So I decided to just make the Garchomp play. Maybe I should have just stayed in with my Volcarona, because Volcarona was pretty useless as well, and let it die to this so that I get Garchomp in for free. But he didn't ending up burning me, and now I get off this Earthquake. And because his remaining Pokemon are Blissey and Lopunny, and I have all these hazards damage, so even if I'm burned, I'm still gonna do a lot of damage to them. Now Lopunny comes back in, and I decided to keep my Garchomp, because if he doesn't have Ice Punch, I can still use this guy. I didn't want to get faked out, so I decided to bring in my Volcarona and then just sacrifice my Volcarona, because it's slower than Lopunny, and if his Blissey has Toxic, he can kind of stall me out. I don't think that crit mattered either. And here I decided to bring in my Lopunny again and just go for the Fake Out, because the Fake Out damage is gonna put him in range of Stealth Rocks and Spikes, right? Just in case I lose the Speed tie here. If I win the Speed tie here, I win the game, but if I lose the Speed tie, I can still use Sucker Punch against the Lopunny, and that should be enough to knock him out. And if he switches out, he's going to die to my hazards. But fortunately for me, I do win the Speed tie, and I went for the Power Up Punch because that was going to kill, and now I'm gonna do more damage into the Blissey as well. I still have my Garchomp in the back, which has Sword Stance. I have Bisharp in the back, which has Sword Stance, and I have a Fighting type here, so there's nothing my opponent can do, and he decides to forfeit. And that is basically how our first game went on Pokemon Brick Bronze Forever. And I gotta say I'm quite enjoying the game. Quite an active community as well. A lot of times over 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, even over 9,000 sometimes people online, which is crazy. which is crazy. It's definitely something I want to try to get into. And currently, there's also a big tournament going on with over 1,000 people participating, and I am participating in it as well. The first round already happened. I actually happened to win the first round, so I'm still in the tournament, and perhaps I'm gonna upload some tournament games on the channel if you guys are interested. And who knows, maybe we are able to win the tournament. It's gonna be tough though, because I don't have a lot of Pokemon on this in this game, and breeding hidden abilities is going to take a long time, so I'm not gonna do that. So I basically play teams without hidden abilities, which is kind of holding me back, but I think we could do pretty well in this tournament. So yeah, I hope you guys are excited to see me in the tournament, and definitely hope for your support. Like I said, this is the first game on Pokemon Brick Bronze Forever. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more, because I've only played Pokemon Reformed. That's because I have a bit more Pokemon on there, so it's easier for me to play. But Forever does have a higher player base, and the quality of opponents is better as well. But overall, I like both games. So I'm gonna interchange between both. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments as well. Make sure to subscribe to see more Pokemon Brick Bronze PvP as well. I create a lot of Pokemon PvP content, guys. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Dislike it if you didn't like it. And perhaps you can join our Discord server as well if you'd like to discuss this game or Pokemon PvP in general. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.